Good evening. Welcome to the Deltahead stream. I am James Howell, and tonight we are starting with our first playthrough of Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. And last weekend I said that we were going to do Resident Evil 4, which we still are going to do, but I started playing through it on regular and just really enjoying the nostalgia trip and kind of just re-encountering it now with this game developer brain on, and it's an experience to really savor. So what I've decided to do, we're still going to do RE4, but we're going to do that on Tuesdays. I want to beat the game, and I want to stream professional mode. I think that will be a good opportunity to run into many more opportunities for failure, which are the more interesting experiences, I think, especially in a game. It's really cool when you succeed, but you kind of learn more when you don't. So yeah, and for this next week, that's going to be on Wednesday rather than Tuesday, because a Tuesday night is horror game night on AGDQ. AGDQ is a personal holiday, and I'm super excited by it. So I don't want to take up that slot, and we'll be instead watching them stream those speedruns. Let's see. So, pregame show. Received. So first off, continuing to read Tom Cox's Ring the Hill. Very lovely, and I really like Cox because he has such a great geographic curiosity, and it's not just it's not. I guess I would distinguish between geological curiosity and geographic curiosity. He's interested in geology, of course, because if you're interested in a geography, that's what you're going to run into, literally sometimes. But the geographical fascination, the love of place, the love of places, even places that have, 2 or 3 towns that have a similar sort of New Age hip vibe, and comparing the two and seeing what the different local cultures are, and identifying one as a little grungier and less sophisticated than the other, but also identifying a certain, an extra element of mystery to it, despite the lack of polish and refinement. It's really lovely, and especially I have an especial appreciation of that now being in the Pacific Northwest, which is very much more like that in that direction itself culturally. So it's pretty cool. And it's weird. It's like on the one hand you have a much more sort of like freer spirituality, sense of spirituality in the region, and at the same time you've also got just like a ton of just a lot of engineers because of the software industry. So there's a kind of a dichotomy there that's interesting. But yeah, no, Cox is a lovely writer, and he is a man who knows how to segue into a ghost story, which, coming from the Southeast, I can tell you is an art that an oral storyteller either has or hasn't, and something that people who give ghost tours, the good ones, absolutely should be hired out for storytelling, because they can do a good job and play off, kind of play jazz with the environment as well. But yeah. No, if you love places, especially local places, then Tom Cox is a writer to get into. There's another author that he reminds me of, an American, William Least Heatmoon. Oh yeah, Tom Cox is English, so he writes about English countrysides and towers and, as this might imply, hills. William Least Heatmoon. There's a book by him called Prairie Earth, which Heatmoon writes you can call them travelogues. He figured out a way to make a trip across the American continent. That's probably more U.S.-centric of a perspective than anybody else would agree with. Made across to the continental U.S. is a better way of saying it, using only inland rivers. There's like this one specific spot where snow melt comes down and connects 2 rivers right in the very middle of the continental states, and he managed to leave the Atlantic. Go through the river system, all the locks and pulleys, a lot of really good insights on the Corps of Engineers and their effect on the landscape. and then managed to make this one pass through the mountains at this one time of year when snow melted enough to be able to keep his keel from, dragging the bottom. And he made it to the Pacific. And that's spoiling it for you, but it's that doesn't spoil anything. It's amazing. Anyway, so he also wrote a book called Prairie Earth, which is about identifying this one county, this one square plot, and desiring to know every square foot of it as well as he possibly could by walking over it, by documenting it, by describing it, by looking at the history of it, and it's an amazing book, and that's what Tom Cox reminds me of. So, Evening Mirth, it's good to see you. Just kind of rolling through the reading since last time. Also got another Christmas present. Tom Cox's Help the Witch, which is, I understand, a series of weird tales, supernatural and otherwise. Mostly supernatural, I think. But anyway, I'm going to find out. I also got this today, Coriat's Crudities, which, you can see that there, yep. Which I found referenced in one of his, Ring the Hill. Coriat was a travel writer who wrote a very weird, long, apparently rambling description of his trip down into the continent from the British Isles. He was the man who introduced the fork to England, so that is his claim, and he walked many, many miles, such that his shoes were enshrined and then later decayed and were replaced with replicas. So that's kind of a I don't know, secular saint's relic? I don't know. He probably was not a secular man given the time that he was living, but anyway, this promises to be interesting. Movie-wise, watched Beat Takeshi's Violent Cop, which was great, and man, it's this sort of like really rough, dirty Harry style cop, but it's also a little bit of the sort of like yin and yang balancing forces of violence in terms of what makes about justice versus crime that you kind of see in some of the Kill the Past stuff. It's interesting. It can read on its surface as just a basic cop film, right? A bad cop or bad guy as cop accomplishes good things, uses sketchy means, but I also think there's a really interesting relationship between life and death and the way and justice and injustice and the way that is presented that I do want to go back and kind of rethink through. Simone Wiles, Gravity and Grace. That's cool. I have never heard of her, and I don't know what that book is, but that is a lovely title and summons many possibilities as to what it could be about. The gravity suggests science, the grace suggests the spirit, so that's the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, Evening Mexican Sting, it's good to see you. And I'm also in the middle of Kabuki Actor's Revenge, which is really quite good. It has an actor in it who plays a bit part, but he was the lead in the Shinobi no Mono ninja movies, which are very dear to my heart. Love them. Only the first 4 are available in English subbed, but if you can find them out, very worth watching. Very fun, actiony, a lot of ninja, a lot of Evening Iceman Dan. Just kind of recounting the media as usual for the opening. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, and I watched his remake of Zatoichi, which was quite fun, and I don't know. It's like this isn't the exact right comparison, but it's kind of like seeing somebody who's an auteur be given a franchise game to make, or something syndicated, something licensed. Even though Zatoichi, I mean, there probably is a license involved, but it's a series, it's a known, established sort of world. But seeing what he does with it is very interesting. Hanabi, yes, I watched Hanabi a couple of weeks ago, and it broke my heart twice. And then broke it again 3 times more. Excellent movie. I love it. Johnny Mnemonic, that is fantastic. I did not know that Beat Takeshi was in Johnny Mnemonic. What? Huh. Okay. Hold on, we can put that. Well, I'm going to remind myself to kind of get that at a later time. But, fair. Well, that's about it. Tarantino getting Star Trek, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying Beat Takeshi, and I'm very much enjoying his gap, his use of lacunae and gaps in storytelling. That the stuff you don't see is the most important. Yeah, brother. That's something that somebody showed up on my timeline to pick up. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing this week, and I am going to get started by setting the date and time from 11/27/1998, because my Dreamcast's original, whatever internal battery is borked by now. Hold on, switch over. Pronounced vey. Thank you. Interesting. Thank you, Mirth. I will put that on my to get list. I am due for some short essays, short conception. Well, I don't know if short is exactly what she's doing, but conceptual essays as opposed to sort of nonfiction essays of the sort that Cox writes. So I'm going to be playing this on the Dreamcast version. Let's see. We are at 1. What is the date? This is the 2nd? This is the 2nd, right? Yeah. Oh god, let's see if it even goes up that high. Let's just say... Wait, no, it's probably on EU. Yeah, there we go. Alright. What is on my VMUs? Pen Tricelon. Is it Trilicilon? I can never pronounce that, though I recognize it. Alone in the Dark. There's an old Soul Reaver save. We're not going to be using that one, but Swirl High Scores. Wow! And of course, 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. So I'm actually really curious. So something that's kind of fun to kind of start this out, since we are playing the Dreamcast version, is let's see, 1, 2, fistful of VMUs. Let's find out what's on them, because I haven't seen these in a long time. Oh, Mirth, Dreamcast is Dreamcast. I love the Dreamcast. I probably cannot overstate how much it was. This console represented video games for me for a very long time. It is full of everything that makes Sega a sort of a creative powerhouse that gives it its legacy and its identity. You know, it's the same spirit that's behind Sonic and Ristar and what else? Power Stone and the like. It's just this console seems to understand video games in a very primal gut way that is the perfect combination between the Twitch, table slamming enthusiasm and adrenaline rush of an arcade and the relaxed, pass the controller around atmosphere of playing games at home with your buds. So yeah, the Dreamcast is very dear to my heart. And yeah, VMUs are super cool. I can show you, let's see. If you want to take a look here, this has got a little pirate there with some swords. And yeah, so let's just pop you out. Also, VMUs have these little things. So not many games I think took advantage of this, but you can, you could put like a little Tomodachi on here type thing. Not literally Tomodachi, but then kind of play that. That's neat. Let's see. Seaman! Oh wow, my old Seaman saves! Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure main save file. Cool. Yeah, Mexican Sting, I think that many people feel that same way, and it's interesting to see that as a sort of shared experience. Yeah, I can stream Seaman. That would actually be kind of a cool stinger stream to put up. I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, I have this, which was attached. I need to maybe get a little piece of cloth or something to cover up the microphone, so you know, sort of like breath doesn't blow out the reception. But yeah, that'd be cool. Why, thank you. Well, I mean, it's the perfect combination: nostalgia, self-rediscovery. Yeah, man. 8-hour, 3-minute, 14-second Cell Reaver save. I really like how this is also something that's kind of cool. Is looking at just the way this is formatted. It's a lot of data presented as data, and that feels very very technical and fun. Let's see. So that's you. This is another. Some of these are sort of generic VMUs. Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if I can find my old Code Veronica save. Code Veronica was a dream come true on the Dreamcast. I loved it. Whoop. Sonic Adventure 2. Oh, I think that's probably Castle of Shikigami. And I might have a Japanese copy on a generic CD of Castle of Shikigami or Shikigami no Shiro, and also a nondescript boot disc, which would explain why the characters are corrupted on my American console. But who knows? It's really hard to say. Let's see. This. Oh wow, Dreamcast Rumble Pack. We're putting this buddy in. Let's see. Do you have any saves on, or is this just a Rumble? No, it's just Rumble. And I think this brings up the tail. The last one. What was this? Nondescript Macintosh disc. If only my Mac worked. Who lives here? Nope. Yeah, there we go. Code Veronica save files. Love this game. That's system data. Oh, that's cool. I forgot that they used the classic zombie turning profile for the save thing. My chow file for Sonic Adventure 2. And more Soul Reaver. So, yeah, let's see, 24 blocks free. I need at least 50 free, clearly, for a Soul Reaver save file. So, let's see if I can find one. Let's see, let's see, this 11 blocks free. Oh, man, Chow Adventure 2. Let's see. Just gonna confirm that I have to get rid of something first. 50 blocks free. And that's actually a very, very low save file. So you know what? Let's just go and get rid of you. Goodbye, friend. All right. Evening swimming. Oh yeah, no. There are several areas. I remember being fascinated by how many areas there were to explore that just sort of like wound up in dead ends. And at the time, I didn't think about a game. I mean, at the time, I didn't think like games could be unfinished, right? It's like that's ridiculous. Why would they put it on a disc if it was unfinished? But now I can kind of appreciate that they built out levels without places to go. It kind of reminds me of Destiny in the early years, where they had these places you could go, these underground, subterranean places that didn't have anything in there, and clearly they were just blocked out for future encounters. But yeah, there is some emptiness in this game, but what it does well, and it's fantastic. Let's see. Hold on one second. Oh, yeah, Code Veronica for a remake? That is a shame. Code Veronica is a favorite, even though I think Code Veronica has the unfortunate honor of being, along with RE3, one of the Resident Evils that was failing to captivate with the old tank control formula. Same, Mirth. Just drop the volume on this. Yeah, Crystal Dynamics. Old Crystal Dynamics. Pre-Naughty Dog Amy Hennig. Be still my heart. Games that I love. Yeah, I agree, Dustin. Also, good evening. Oh, the voice acting in this is so good. This, like, they have specials on this disc and Soul Reaver 2 that it shows the voice actors recording the stuff in the booth, and it was like the first time I ever saw anything visual like that. It was so inspirational. I love that they put making of stuff on these discs. I love this game, and I love how much they love the process of development to share it like that. Really? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, man. Good memories.
Kain is deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire.
Raziel's got some...
I have served him a millennium.
Good 90s hair there.
Over time, we became less human and more divine. Kain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow. Until I had the honor of surpassing my lord.
I love this.
For my
It's so good.
I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome. My eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the Lake of the Dead. Cast him in.
Love Kane's voice.
Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
So cool. The CG is really impressive. Like, I've watched this so many times when I was younger. Like, I know every beat. My two favorite things in that whole intro is the sort of like snarl and twitch when Kain touches the edge of the wing.
I know you, Raziel.
And that flip.
You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Kain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my soul Reaver, my angel of death.
Cool. So let me catch up on chat real fast. So dear to my heart. Yes, Mirth. Dreamcast is in between PS1 and PS2. So you're not wrong there. A lot of games like this one, this was originally released on PS1, and they let's see, how do I? Is there yeah, there we go. And they improved the textures and streamlined it for Dreamcast. So this actually is a port and an improvement in performance. Swimmy, yeah, Soul Reaver 2. I think one of the things that the games got panned for, panned is too strong a word. They received criticism for is the gameplay started to feel a little too samey, and also kind of trying to hit the Devil May Cry vibe, but not landing the sense of viscerality and impact. So yeah, I think Soul Reaver, you know, justifiably received a lot of positive praise for its streaming tech and the way that they were able to basically get 2 levels out of 1 by having the environment transform, which we'll see soon. But I think Soul Reaver 2 had less, was regarded as less innovative, and Defiance's combat was stronger, but also it was just a little behind the games that it was like in terms of innovation, and it just had a lot of lock and key gameplay. Yeah. Anyway, but what captivates me is just like the production values, how cool the story is, and how cool the characters are. I remember it being cool. We'll find out if I still think that. It's 99.9% likely I will, because those tastes don't ever really change. Yeah, so that's kind of like a high view of the series and how it was received. And yeah, Dustin, you're going to see a lot of late '90s, early aughts design in this. Yes, Iceman Dan. The Dreamcast is lovely, and actually, this is not the best it could look. The Dreamcast was also capable of S-video output, which was the bee's knees at the time. The S-video, which this is just straight composite output, and but S-video was even sharper. Evening, Shantae. It's good to see you. Yeah, no, the VO in all of this is just spot on, and I absolutely love it. Love it! Yeah, actually, on the PS2 Dreamcast comparison, Sega Gaga, which I am forever delinquent on, just because I've never been able to get a consistent hobbyist staff able to kind of render everything that needs to be done on that. They actually make fun of the PlayStation 2 in that, in a game that's sort of both critical of Sega and also the industry as a whole. So it's they're very aware of their competition there. They even it even references the old hold on.
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
It even references Sony's dubious claim that the PlayStation 2 could launch nuclear missiles. It's so powerful. Oh yeah, this is a neat thing about the VMU, if you can see it. So the VMU also has a little screen on it, so when you plug it into your controller, it will give you information about the game you are playing. And this one, it lets me know that I'm playing... Oh, I love that sound effect!
You must visit other gates before this portal will be open to you.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, the GameCube controller is awkward. It is still second to the N64's, which I could never understand tactily.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
Yeah, this is something that I enjoy about this this character as a villain, and yeah, spoiler, he turns out to be a villain. Is he's responsible for like the Wheel of Time and the circulation of souls. At the same time, it's not. It's sort of like this distanced Greek kind of idea. This sort of aloofness where he has a responsibility, and he's not really the sort of personally involved god, such that he's like, well, you know what, my job is being interfered with, so here, have a soul. I've got plenty. Yeah, I could never figure out what my hands wanted to do with the N64 controller. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong. Oh, I love Raziel's little scamper. This animation right here. Feels very crisp.
Your wings without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
It's very funny, Mert. Yeah, no, I believe, I remember reading an interview about when they were making this game that, oh yeah, I love Raziel's little crawl there. It's so cool. They split the levels between different sub-teams that just kind of like owned each one. And when it came back, they found that independent of each other, they all wound up creating like block puzzles and platforming levels. So that's funny.
What scabrous wretches are these?
I remember those.
Shua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
Oh yeah, no, the world design is fantastic. The aesthetic, and I like Nosgoth a lot as an environment. Let's see. Was this where I came in? I don't think so. I think this is the right way. Oh yeah, well yeah, especially because like they're. Oh wait, no, I did go in a circle. They're your own kind, right? They're well, your former kind. You were no longer one of the tribe, and hey Buster. And as one who is shunned. Get to have your day. Okay, no, I was in fact going the right way. It was thrown off by the soul fountain. Alright, tutorial mooks. You are fine. Oh, that music. I would like to get this game's soundtrack. Oh, it's not a soul fountain.
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
That's actually not too far from how some of the verbosity gets.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the
Which I
physical
love.
world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
So yeah, this is the, let's see if I can do it real fast. This is what I was talking about with the streaming tech, that each level has basically two forms.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
That, yeah, every level has 2 forms. And, the fact that you can transition between them so seamlessly is wonderful. So I want to see what that looks like the way I'm supposed to go, so I kind of want to take a look at the dead end. Reboot fans? I'm not sure what Reboot is. Oh, okay. Gotcha, that is just me being out of the loop there.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood.
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
So yeah, the sort of like high-born sentiments of vampires have
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. Vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
but yeah, they've basically degraded and have become this.
Unfettered from the flesh, a creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
Hey, meeting here. Throw you into the sunlight, buddy. Yeah, I agree. It is a treat all the way through.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
Like, it's such a joy to listen to. Let's see, where do I want to go? Up there. I love Raziel's little side hop with the brick. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that most of the VOs, I tried looking them up on Twitter to see if they were still current with the times, and I think many of them might have retired, or just haven't kept up with that publicity.
The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
Yeah, kind of to get at what that was about, and also what Swimmy wrote. Blood Omen, which is the predecessor for this, which I think is PS1 only. You take control of Kain, a dude who gets murdered, gets an opportunity to come back as a vampire and avenge his death, does so, and through a series of adventures of increasingly escalating stakes, finds himself in a position of either sacrificing himself to save the Pillars of Nosgoth, which are these sort of mystical structures required to maintain balance, order, etc. Sort of a kind of a mythic stability / fertility location that preserves the fecundity and momentum of existence. Another option is that he gets to stay a vampire, and the Pillars of Nosgoth go under his control. And so there are like two possible endings to that game. And this assumes that Kain made the selfish choice, and which is what that past narration was about. I think it actually probably serves better to remind you what happened than to kind of explain the full weight of everything. PS1 and PC? Okay, cool. Get this fella here. Oh. Sorry, buddy. Old habits die hard. Only thing that I do wish is that the controls while carrying him were a little less janky like this. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, totally. It is absolutely within his character. Oh, I remember thinking it was really clever how, like, he will actually wrench off the thing, but he uses a kind of a psychic like this to pick it up off the ground. They don't bother to animate him like reaching down and picking it up. He just zip, has it in his hand. You're right. Can I stealth kill? Yeah, if you do well in this game, you get an extra advantage in that that Dreamcast swirl game. I forget its name. I love how brooding and heavy this music is. One thing that is kind of challenging about the game is because of how many environments can kind of look the same. You kind of have to remember some very specific symbols to know where you want to go. And so that took me to the underworld, and now I am back in the place where I originally had been. Except I am incorporeal and need to souls myself up. There we go. Whoop. Pardon me. Throw him on that torch. Let's try. Perhaps not. Oh snap, that's where I got thrown off.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss. My tomb and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
It's true. I mean, it is absolutely tempting. Let's see, where... Oh, here we go. This should be it, right? Rip. Rip.
As my agent, you are beyond death, Raziel. Your enemies cannot destroy you. If you grow too weak, however, you will always be drawn here to recover.
That's,
Use your newfound talents to gain entry where you have been otherwise impeded.
well, yeah. I should hope I can. Yeah, the guy who's talking to me, if you see that giant tentacle in the background, that would be him. Or a portion of him. And I don't think I have whatever I need to enter there just yet. Yes. Now the fact that you're already dead and that dying is just a transition from one version of the same space to another makes that a little easier to fit narratively. Oh, I'm guessing that little gauze means that I can't go through. And I think these are all the symbols of the vampiric clans that had been headed by my brethren. And one of these days I'm going to get to mine. Or the one where I have a portal. I mean, it actually looks like there's a little gate there that it's got this sort of like, I don't want to call it fire. It looked more sparking than sort of crackling, but that business that I haven't been able to unlock yet awaits. So there is a little bit of discovery there. Peace. want to see Kain's throne room.
The doors of the sanctuary were immovable, either barred from the inside or rusted shut. I would need to find another means of entry.
One of the things that I really liked about this game was how much verbal space they were willing to give to communications that were almost purely gameplay related, right? Like that, everything you just said is basically doors locked. But, you know, they gave that space to be something, and I like that. Yeah, Swimmy is referencing is the Soul Reaver, which is your actual weapon that you get at a certain point. Only is available if you have your life at max. That is forthcoming. Love this music.
Proud kin wiped from this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
What? Oh, I took the sword out before he finished dying. Whoops. I believe... Yeah, this is part of the combat because the vampires only die when they're impaled. If I'm remembering... Let me try this real fast. So... I kill him, I impale him. And if I do not reap his soul, but pick up the weapon, then he resurrects. So you gotta do two steps. Kill him, or spear him, and then take the soul before you grab the weapon again. That's pretty cool. I really like how they give you environmental ways of killing them and doing them in, and then the bodies disappear. But because, you know, they're not going to get down off of the giant hooks. But they actually make it consistent in the fact that you can pick up the weapon and they come back. Alright, so this looks kind of like Wolf question mark? Is what I'm going to call this. So Wolf question mark is my second node. Evening Arc. So hoping you'd be able to make it out because I know that you were looking forward to this, if I recall. Oh no, I'm sorry you have a flu. Oh, you have my wishes for a speedy recovery. Ooh, that's not gonna help me at all. Oh wait, we learned that throwing them on torches does nothing. See, I'm trying to remember how... I'm remembering how I came to knowledge of this game and this series. I remember my brother was really into it, and I got some familiarity with it through him. But then I later had a friend who, this would have been around the time Defiance was released, had a friend who was really into the whole series and played it all the way through with them. And I don't know, it's kind of cool when you have a game that you enjoy because you enjoy the friendship that is a part of, but then later comes a kind of like a personal ownership over it, and kind of enjoy it for your own reasons. Now, that's very much what this series became for me. Let's see, what do you do? That is welcome. And that is probably going to be even more welcome, because that is probably definitely my way forward. As might that be. What? Okay. What is down here? Just kind of want to canvass all these areas before I make a choice. Oh, rain. That might be bad for me. As the Babby Revenant that I am. Still subject to my old vampiric weaknesses.
No! Please! I didn't recognize these flayed racks of flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victim's carcass like dogs.
That was a great death scream. Also, like, both polygons for the face. So, if I'm remembering right, I think that... I love that sound effect. That dying, that death growl is so good. They're at least very iconic. It's something I remember about this game very fondly. But yeah, I think that each of the sort of like vampiric clans has a type of vampire. Yeah, you can see, if you see the little insignia on the back, I think that shows the clan that they're from. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Let me kind of take a look at Raziel's face here. He probably has as many polygons for his head as that guy did. It's just his is maybe more abstract, so there's less of a gap between expected representation and what's actually there. Oh, I've got to get the soundtrack. It's like this, I don't know, it's given me, kind of, Jan Hammer vibes, who's an electronic musician of the 80s, did the Miami Vice theme. Sorry, thought you were a vampire. I don't know if I should feel bad about that. Dungeon synth? Yeah. Very groovy.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
This is also good, I don't know. Based off of all the changes that have happened here, I kind of think that you could qualify this as a post-apocalyptic game, too. Like, I mean, it's clearly fantasy, but, and post-apocalyptic usually kind of falls, you know, things like The Last of Us, sort of, that sort of darker side of human survivalism motif, but given the fact that this is very much about a portrayal of a land gone to ruin because of the excesses and vices of its former rulers, I think you could make a case for it being post-apocalyptic in theme. Yes, exactly.
Brother Melchiah was made last, and therefore received the poorest portion of Kain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
So, his thralls are the old seventh sons of the seventh son. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of the thing about many of the Zelda games, right? It's about the world being on the brink of an apocalypse and trying to avert it. But this is one such fantasy world where that has already occurred, or at least the occurrence is so far underway, it's basically accepted that it has happened. That its consequences are here to stay. Though I guess trying to avert an apocalypse in a fantasy world is almost 99% of the time that we're actually interacting with it, so I guess that's not that remarkable with the Zelda example. This is the way I came from. Okay, nope, this is the right way. Alright, so I got that up there. I can jump to... Do I... No, I can't look up. Weirdly. Okay. Oh, that's just a little too high. Okay. Okay. The size of Soul Reaver's levels give me this sense of I don't know. There are so many games that have the just these massive, large hallways with incredibly dense masonry. There we go. That just kind of like, the question that always comes to my mind is like, imagine the volume of labor that it took to make this sort of thing, and having great masonry in volume and size with these sort of like very open, spacious chambers really does give me the sense of like of an empire in final decline. And I believe something that, if not outright stated, was meant by Raziel talking about how Malachiah received the weakest portion. In order to make his lieutenants, I believe Kain divided his soul and imparted a portion of that to each one of them. So Raziel's kind of running around with a little spark of Kain's essence fueling him, and that is the soul that he is to reave from his brethren. Yeah, it's not like a Horcrux kind of thing where he's doing it for a survival, but that is the mechanism by which he builds a lieutenancy. No, Raziel would be his lieutenant. An army. Oh right, so I think this is where Yeah, this is something that's cool about the platforming of this. Is so right here I'm at a dead end, but if I switch to the Netherworld.
Beware, Raziel. These wraiths are vampire spirits, fettered too long in the spectral realm. When their vampire natures adapt to this plane, they become eaters of souls. Do not allow these spirits to re-inhabit their corpses.
The platforming changes such that I can now reach places that I could not previously. I think these blocks have now popped out. So even though the platforming can be a little aggravating sometimes when it is requires a little more precision than you can see, it's just conceptually it is very clever, and that's one of the things that made this game so remarkable. So now I'm up here, buddy. Try and stop me. And that would be, I think, what Swimmy is referring to. I think that probably a little bit of edge management so that you had a little bit of a kind of a stagger right, or a stutter right before going over an edge would solve the majority of problems that that I encounter with the platforming, at least. Stop that. Let's just do this. I too like to feed by opening my mouth and awaiting food to arrive. Yes, better camera control, I agree. Being able to look up and down seems like an omission. Oh, I see. Oh, I gotcha. Yep, yep. So a lot of the block puzzles in this don't totally connect to the narrative in a way. They're actually very pure in some ways, in the sense of, you know, get this thing into this slot as a lock and key, without really making the fact that they are blocks essential to the why of it. So yeah, this is from a time when no, don't fall. When you could more cleanly get away with that. And it's weird, even though I think that now I would be critical of it were I to encounter that sort of division in a game. Just because I'm so used to that being part of this game's design, I just sort of accept it as cost of doing business. Not have been the right move. But let's see. It was not the right move. Hey. I have my mouth open. Raziel's feeding very much reminds me of this fairy tale motif that I think probably the most accessible version of it outside of print is the Hunter in Death, or the Soldier in Death in Jim Henson's Storyteller, where the hunter, there's a hunter who, through a series of adventures, gets a bag that anything that he tells to get inside it must get inside, and it's got the the fairy tale repetition technique of asking, "What is this you see?" "Why, it's a bag." "Well, if this is a bag, then get in it." And then the person, or in the case of that story, the devils or anything, death included, has to get inside the bag. And that's how I think of Raziel's feeding. What is this? Well, that's a gaping maw. Well, if this is a gaping maw, then get into it. Whoa! And hijinks are afoot, you see. So I see... So what I'm seeing here is the thing's got to go in there. And I got to find the thing. But the thing is not what I see. So maybe there's something in the other world for me. I do like how the time is standing still and the object doesn't fall. It just hangs there in the air. Can I? No, I cannot. Is there a pathway down here? Something I'm missing? Yes, I remember. And I think I forgot it was a boss power. I thought that maybe it's just something I kind of smear Raziel against and it works. So maybe I just need to find a way to get up, since that does not look like a way out. Just kind of hop around here until I can get the camera to spy something I can grab onto. Bonk. Can I grab this? Cannot grab that. Oh, wait a minute. Is there something down here I can grab? A block I can grab and flip. Because they did just teach me about flipping blocks, and this seems like a fine place to use that ability. If only I could find a block to flip. Oh, the days before there was sort of wild VO to poke at you and give you solutions. It's almost kind of ironic that I associate that development in that development in game design and player communication to the Uncharted games, and that also is an Amy Hennig game, of course. I'm sure by now a more famous one than this, and I am, in fact, stuck in an Amy Hennig game. Oh, I never played ActRaiser 2, but yeah, I like the glide controls in this. This is one of those games that, I don't know, there are certain games, maybe it's because of the way the animation was just a little different from the way that the human body can even work. Maybe, you know, maybe it's just the age where, you know, you kind of try things out and, well, I don't even know if age is something I could really blame that on. I still do this. No, these are like animations that I always kind of like felt like I wanted to try. Like, you know, if you're, you know, you're a kid or you put yourself in that headspace, you think, yeah, if I just had a blanket and I could put it around my arms and then jump off a ledge and use that as a parachute, that would be so cool, and I could glide down. And this game kind of takes that impulse and makes that a mechanic, which I dig. Yes, Legacy of Kain is what we in narrative country call deep lore. And Swimmy, if you remember what the solution is here, I am open to suggestions. Something I can move through the spirit realm, I cannot. Can I just turn sideways and slip through? Clearly not. Yes, yeah, it's like a flying squirrel. I wonder if flying squirrels got the idea from jumping off the bed with a blanket wrapped around their shoulders. Oh, I'm in a pit, and clearly jumping high is not getting me out. There is what appears to be something, I mean, obviously, I don't know if this would jog your memory at all, but there's a slot here that I know I gotta put a brick into, and I have some level design that is tantalizingly identical to what I was just tutorialized on, yet I am not finding the block that I can slide into that slot. This actually seems like a good thing to do right now. Alright. Let's mosey on around. So yeah, so this here is a slot that a brick goes into. This is the perimeter of the pit. And, oh! There we go. This is just like bringing a problem to IT, and all you have to do is start describing it and begin explaining the resources at your disposal, and then the solution just happens. Yeah, this is very old game design without the no highlight around the interactable object or anything. Just got to pay attention to a slightly darker gray. Yeah, yeah. Very satisfying. Yeah, the sound design in this game is spot on. Well, for, I don't remember how many other block puzzle... Oh, thank God, there we go. Freed at last. I don't know how many block puzzle games sorry, let me say that again. I don't know how many more mechanics I have yet to learn to exhaust the block puzzle opportunities, but that and Raziel's mobility are the game's core mechanics, so it definitely serves this game well to have put attention into making that feel good. Yeah, it's very interesting because, you know, Raziel, of course, is skeletal with somehow, it's actually inexplicable how he even still has any kind of muscular definition, but clearly emaciated, nope, let me, okay. Okay. Oh, okay, this wasn't just a waste of time. I was actually supposed to get stuck down here. But yeah, the sound effects sell it. Him being able to lift those blocks sells it. Just sort of how supernaturally powerful he is as a revenant. I'm actually curious to know if they use the word revenant at any point in this game. Because that is what he is. Yeah, gotcha. Or do I? Oh, here we go. Nope. Oh, I see. So I need to hop up on one level and flip or push one of those blocks off, and then flip them around to where the right insignia is facing the right direction. Oh, man, this is giving me some serious, oh wait, actually don't need to do that here. Crap. Making my brain feel the nostalgic twitches of entering into the abstract headspace that playing old video games pushes it. I gotta say, it absolutely kills me that this is now considered retro. Because time is a monster. Okay. Alright, up the garbage chute. Hello? Gem? Oh, I need to climb that, but I don't think I have that ability yet. going to trust the game designers not to let me make a mistake that will absolutely block me. Pun unintended. I think this game is airtight enough that you cannot get yourself into an unwinnable situation. All right. Love that power on sound effect. It's very different. The effects that they have on that make it sound very otherworldly in a way that I don't think any of the other sound effects really do. They're very clicky and snappy. Oh, wait a minute. Did I make a circle back? I think I might have. Yeah, this is where I... Okay. There must have been a branching path somewhere. Because I know for sure I definitely went through here in my forward path. And I already unlocked that the first time I came through. Well, I'm not sure where I went. Oh, okay, now I know where I am. Alright, there was something that I needed to get to up here, but I did not have the block height to do so. And now that I know about flipping blocks, and also I needed to go through that whole area in order to drop that one block down, and now I can flip it on top of this one and make my way up. Cool. Yeah, Raziel is absolutely a dude who has been in you know, eternal rot for quite some time, and he's not screwing around. He's ready to get things done. Huh. Imagine after this he could probably get some good work as a mover. Pile those refrigerators on top of each other. Yeah. Now I try to make the and we'll also look for solutions faster while I'm on stream than than I do when I'm playing solo. But I actually really like the sense of satisfaction that I get from having to poke at the environment, ask questions of it, and then hopefully find the answers, as we did earlier here. You know, Shelter, I think you're right. I can see that. Hey. Come back, I need to feed on you. I could be down for a Nosgoth Evilise crossover game. The Raziel, Valthier, Kain party. Did your soul... No. No. There we go. Oh, I probably want that weapon. Or I can have this one. It's fine. Yeah, they did. The depth of lore and the characters, I mean, the depth of lore is pretty dang cool, but I really think it's how well realized the characters are and their relationships to each other, and how, especially, I mean, with Kain, his story, it's very, you know, it's very lore driven because he's a lore figure. With Raziel, he's driven by so many more personal reasons that even though he has a lore relationship, or even though he has a lore role, rather, so much of what he is doing in this world is much less about the world, the lore, the governance, which is very much Kain's area of ownership, and it's more about his relationship to Kain and what he thinks. Like, I think at one point he even does adopt what he believes to be, you know, a lore role as a dispenser of justice, etc., you know, noble cause. But in reality, it's not about having a relationship to this world at all. It's strictly about him being mad at Kain. And I like that. I like that you have these two figures who are so integral to this world's decay and later, you know, hope for life. And they're motivated by such different things, and those differences play out visibly in what they bring to each dramatic moment. Shelter, I kind of agree. I was actually talking about this with Swimmy at the start of the stream, that even though there are many areas that... Let's see, can I... Oh, there they... Oh, you know what, Swimmy? I think this is maybe the edge detection that I was hoping for. Just maybe not... Maybe I don't have to do something quite as silly as this to activate it. But yeah, if I'm walking around... I don't know, man. Maybe an edge stutter or a hesitation while walking around might actually just feel worse. I don't know. Anyway, yes, the empty areas are quite aesthetic, and I believe add a lot to the atmosphere and charm of what this game achieves. Yeah, there we go. I keep intending to set the camera to where my head takes up the bottom 2/3 of the visible screen, and I keep managing to put my eyes at the center. So hopefully that accomplishes something. Alright, so I've got these watch fobs going, and that looks like a fine place to get my face turned into mulch. The music's tone manages to accomplish this sense of... Wait, what did this do? Oh, I already flipped it once. It manages to accomplish this sense of you were in the process of figuring things out. And it always stays there. It might elevate a little bit when you're fighting. But on the whole, the fact that you're constantly solving these block puzzles and figuring out where to go next, it I don't know. I feel like it manages to capture that feeling quite well. Oh, wait. Right. There's something up here that probably changed because of that. Probably this switch is now active. Yep. That's very funny. Alright. Is this a block puzzle I see before me? This song right here is like what I always think of when I think of Legacy of Kain. Not think I quite hit it either. Well, it seems to have moved on past the part that I find iconic. Alright. So, got a block that looks like it only wants to move this way. And that might just be my way out. Weird scratches above there. This looks like it's my forward path. Okay. I went deeper, I know. Oh, okay. Gotta slide these things around a bit. You know, you're right, Dreambomb. I hadn't thought about that, but that is correct, I think. Set this on fire. Yes. Something that's interesting about the way this puzzle gets solved is, like I'm just finding things that look like things I can interact with. I cannot. And playing with them and seeing what kind of effects it gives. Like for example, like setting those things on fire was absolutely not something I intended to do because I did not even know they were there until the puzzle element interacted with it. So it's kind of neat having this, I don't know, having this grammar of interactions that I know I'm going to need, and if I see something that calls for it, I do it, and then being kind of surprised at what the environment does in response to that. And I can only assume making Raziel be or appear clever for figuring it out, when I myself am just screwing around like a guy playing a video game. Yes, exactly, Dreambomb. Which I think is one of the things that I like about a lot of the Kill the Past characters, and also the thing that I like about beat Takeshi's violent cop. Aha! That's what I needed to do. I need to drop this floor like 2 levels. And the first one was by mechanism, and the second one was by destroying those props. A lot of civic engineering going to waste right now. But yeah, it's like viewing violence as this sort of, I don't know, value-neutral force, which I feel is very much in tune with the way that justice and evil are presented in the Kill the Past series, and also how it's handled in Violent Cop. Which is fascinating to me because, I mean, you know, viewing, there's understandably accepted wisdom that violence itself is, if resorted to, universally a kind of almost like a failure of moral imagination. And so it's very interesting to see stories where that's not how it's represented or regarded. Oh yeah, it does have an excellent soundtrack. So... where do you want to live? So every single one of these has a node at the end. And I see an additional node there. Maybe they just want to all live on the corners. Or maybe there's something that I need to do in the spirit world. But let's see. Okay, that's not it. That's it. Oh. I can just push like that. Cool. There we go. Those synth strings are just so good. Da 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 da. That little bit right there. I'm going to heal up here because I have a feeling that's a boss fight. Oh, the music is definitely saying boss fight. Alright, so that might be a little involved for problem solving, and give me a quick break, and I'll be right back. Oh, mercy. Tokyo Fist? Thank you very much. I'll take a look at that. That sounds excellent. Like, are we talking like in the realm of like horror disturbing imagery, or like Takashi Miike hyper-violence disturbing imagery? No, I just squandered the health I got. Sorry, soul, that I ate. This dude really buried himself deep.
Show yourself, creature.
Do you not recognize me, brother? Am I so changed?
Elkaya?
Yes, brother. You should have stayed where the Master sent you, Raziel. You will find Nosgoth less pleasant than you remember.
What has become of my clan? Answer me, little brother, or I will beat an answer from your horrid lips.
Everyone is afraid, sibling. You awake to a world of fear. These times of change are so unsettling. Do you think I feel no revulsion for this form? Do you believe for a moment that our Lord would risk his empire upon an upstart inheritance?
Enough riddles. What are you saying?
You are the last to die.
Yeah, so one of my favorite lines in his delivery in this game is that, do you not recognize me? Am I so changed? Oh right, this is a puzzle boss. Oh, crap, crap, crap! Missing. I feel like I need to flip a switch to activate something somewhere. Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, the combat hasn't even gotten into the sort of much more flighty, low G fare that Soul Reaver 2 and beyond kind of indulge in. So it makes sense that you would have fewer bosses where it's about whacking them on the head with a thing. Maybe something in here. Switch inside. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe once I get him in here. Hey! I'm back, I'm trying to do a thing. Nope, that doesn't do anything. That's also not exactly what I want. Yeah, they discovered a way to make it so that the boss doesn't have collision, and that's okay. I think I need to take the dynamic soundtrack to this game and add it to my running mix. I can see myself hitting a good jog with this. I'm actually really curious to know what the effect would have looked like. What that effect would have looked like on the PS1. This is oh right, you might not have seen this because you were sick and hopping in late. This is actually the Dreamcast version. No, 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 no. Wait, maybe there's something up here. Oh, hey, hello. Aha, that's it. Got a grinder there. Alright, so that definitely tells me, yeah, no, it feels butter smooth. Oh, cool. They pair that meat grinder with the mulch of flesh on the ground. I know I'm trying the same thing over and over again, just trying to see if there's maybe another angle on it that I should be taking. I love that laugh, oh my god. Oh man. I wonder if the VO just kind of like made it really throaty and got that sort of like reverberance from that, or if they applied any effects to it. From behind, you say? Alright, buddy. Oh. Well. Swizzle sticks. What? Oh, whoa! He's halfway between here and the spirit world. So he can still pursue me. That's pretty cool. I forgot about that. Having a boss enemy that can pursue you into the nether world is very cool, and also just kind of what it suggests lore-wise about his state as an entity. Oh. Right? Come on, buddy. I think you're the last thing I need before I can... Oh, no, 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 no! Get out of here. Oh, wait. I heal up naturally over time in the netherworld, so I can't truly die. But that did me. That's right, consecrated bars. Oh, wild. When he phases through... Actually, okay, I see. So the fact that he has an existence in the spiritual, in the spirit world, is probably how he's phasing through those bars. Because, I mean, this could just be a graphical thing that I'm coming with a story justification for, but I don't know why else I'm here if I'm not doing that. Like, he becomes physical and concrete as he goes through the bars, so it's like the act of teleportation is this sort of mid-state that represents him as spirit in the physical realm and as physical creature in the spirit realm, which is neat. Okay, what am I missing? Which is like the big question for all the bosses in this game, right? Come on, come on, come on, come on, go, go, go! Interesting. I'm interested in your thoughts on that. Is there something over here? I might in a second. Haha, I love his skittering sound. I wonder... Alright, Swimmy, so hint. Is there something in the environment I am missing? Okay. Is it a switch that I have not flipped? Path to the switch. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna poke around in the spirit realm and see if I can find this thing. Aha! Okay, got it. Thank you. Much appreciated. I think the arena is to trap him. Gotcha. Is to trap him, and then I can drop the big, I can drop the, big meat grinder on him. Okay. So maybe I drop this on him as he's going through because he is not going to be phasing. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, he's not thinking to phase, and I catch him in his physical form. There we go. Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Tell me, Melchiah, where can I find Kain?
The Master is beyond your reach, Raziel. He makes himself known when he sees fit, not when commanded. Unleashed.
Still has a throat to gurgle through.
You have done well, Raziel.
Am I reduced to this? A ghoul? A fratricide?
Elevated, Raziel, not reduced. Consuming Melchiah's soul has endowed you with a new gift. Insubstantial barriers such as these are no impediment to you in the spectral realm. Will yourself to pass through, and you shall.
You're right. It's getting there. But I want to hear him say the R word. Yeah, right, Ark. Who could have thought this would have come back to haunt me? I dig how how the boss fight music is a variation of the regular overworld theme. It kind of actually has a very MGS1 feel to me. That the boss fight music in MGS1 is a variation on the alert theme. Something I always liked. Let's go ahead and save the game while we're here. Oh, I don't need to eat you, but you know what? I'm an emotional eater. Oh no, that's just an elevator I don't need. I do like how they brought all these mechanisms that I've been operating and adjusting. I like how they brought those back into the final boss fight, or the not final boss fight, but the boss fight where I finally killed him. Actually, this is not the way I need to go, I don't think. Is it all, or? There we go. my way out.
Return to the sanctuary of the clans, Raziel. Melchiah's soul has endowed you with the means to gain entry. Beware, however. This hollow derelict is abandoned, but not uninhabited.
Oh, I love it. So good. I'm guessing this this corridor and corridors like it are loading areas, where they're pulling up the next. Yeah, right there. It's interesting. How, like, the draw distance is just like nil until I cross right there, at which point it starts to exist. Wait a minute. I don't think this is where I need to go. Okay, here we go. Yep. This game also asks more of the player's spatial talents than many games currently do, especially, I'm thinking, particularly with mini-maps, because there is no map of this place. You just have to recognize where you are by puzzles you've completed and familiar terrains, which is a little challenging because a lot of it can have a kind of a samey look. But on the whole, I find navigable. Yeah, humans go down in like 3 punches. I mean, I appreciate the spirit. Literally. Yep. And yep. And here we go. Good. I'm gonna grab this. I wonder if it feels weird to Raziel to now be weird. It's a very, that animation could probably be slowed down by like 5 times. It would be a little more, feel more intuitive. I forgot what I was saying. Feel of the soul indeed. I call these my lamb chops. I like how there are just these handful of little musical moments that I think of as iconic to this game. Yet just because of the rolling nature of the soundtrack, I can't really count on when it's going to happen. It just shows up when it wants to. Okay, actually, I should probably take advantage of these things. Although this is literally the one, I think, that is where I want to go. So, okay, mental note for the future. Use the teleportation stations. The game is designed for me to use them. I think I am going the wrong way. Yep. Okay. Maybe... I don't think I've had anything to do with that area that's got water in it, so that's not my path forward. Yeah, this is it. We gotta cross this. So maybe that teleportation spot I was at is not what I thought it was. Excuse me. Rude. right. Free whatever this is.
These artifacts enhance your stamina, enabling you to prolong your material manifestation. Gather 5 to complete the emblem, and thereby augment your strength.
Yeah, right? It's a piece of heart, and they use that many words to say it. I love it. I guess I just really like this fantasy world where everybody idiosyncratically has just this active intermediate level active vocabulary. I feel seen. Alright, dudes. Tell you how bad this is gonna go for you. Huh. Oh, oh, that's hilarious. He was just standing there minding his own business, and I whacked him on the head with a piece of pottery. Oh, I'm gonna do that again. Hello. Quality game design right there. Kingdom of Spiders? That might be, let's see, what time are we at here? 10:26? I think if we're gonna do a Stinger stream, I remember, I think Dustin requested Snake Tales, which I am down to stream. So I think once we get to the start of the next area, that might be a pretty good place to break and throw in some substance again. I was, I am pleasantly surprised that there are several games that, PS2 games in particular, that resell for a significantly more than they originally sold. God Hand in particular is one that I've been trying to reacquire, because very sadly I have my box with packaging and everything, but just do not have the disc itself. I think I lent it out to somebody. But so yeah, so I've been looking to replace that for a while, and I found, I mean, this sells for like 150 to 200. It's crazy how much that resells for. But a Japanese copy goes for like 40 bucks. I've since found that there are other games that are marked up high that sell for lower for a J copy.
Kain.
Yeah.
The abyss has been unkind. I am your creation, Kain. Now, as before, you criticize your own work. What have you done with my clan, degenerate? You have no right. What I have made, I can also destroy, child.
Damn you, Kain! You are not God! This act of genocide is unconscionable! Conscience? You dare to speak to me of conscience? Only when you have felt the full gravity of choice should you dare question my judgment. Your lifespan is a flicker compared to the mass of doubt and regret that I have borne since Mortanius first turned me from the light. To know that the fate of the world hangs dependent on the advisedness of my every deed? Can you even begin to conceive what action you would take in my position?
I would choose integrity, Kain.
Look around you, Raziel. See what has become of our empire. Witness the end of an age. The clans scattered to the corners of Nosgoth. This place has outlasted its usefulness. As have you.
The Soul Reaver, Kain's ancient blade, older than any of us and 1,000 times more deadly. The legends claimed that the blade was possessed and thrived by devouring the souls of its victims. For all our bravado, we knew what it meant when Kain drew the Soul Reaver in anger. It meant you were dead.
Cool. Love all that. Well. I like how these things are not, I mean, you can't really lose. You gain health naturally in the other world, so these enemies aren't really, they aren't really threats, they're just impediments. Yeah, Dustin, I have done the same with the PS3 classics. The part of that frustrates me is I do much prefer the DualShock 2. Well, that worked out about the same as last time. I prefer the DualShock 2 to the 3. So, oh yeah, I got something pretty cool came in the mail today. Got the Japanese copy of Biohazard Gun Survivor, which means that when the PS2 comes in, I will be able to stream that with the GunCon. I know I streamed it before with sketchier technology than I have currently in my setup, so I'm thinking about redoing that with the GunCon as soon as the Japanese PS2 comes in. Because that is a game that I would like to get on record being played as it was designed to be played. Oh! I seem not to be making the best choices. There's something somewhere I can jump. Wonder if Kain is weirded out by the fact that I keep coming back from that one spot. Which sequel do you have in mind, Dreambone? The Dino Crisis one, or oh wow, that's cool. Kain's throne is a sculpture of his hand gripping the central pillar of Nosgoth. Could you get more overtly autocratic? It's lovely. Oh, Code Veronica Gun Survivor. That is one I have not played and would love to. Crap, what do I do? Is there a... I think if there's I need to attack him, or what's my play here? No! Ah! Okay, so Kain can be hit. So my play is to find him, give him a conk on the side of the head, and then run away. Hey, stop that. I, as well, I actually have a stream archive of Dead Aim up on the YouTube channel. If, where are you? Oh no, come on! Is there a marker for where he is in the... so I can just, like, go toward it? Anyway, yeah, that was a fun one. I just, where is he? Yeah, I just gotta find him. It feels like I've got about, like, 5 seconds before I get, before I wipe, after I spawn. There you are. I'm trying to pay attention to sound cues, but it's a little unreliable. At least I'm not parsing out where he's showing up based off of what I'm hearing.
The blade is vanquished. So it unfolds. And we are a step closer to our destinies.
Yeah, here it is.
I swore I saw a glint of satisfaction in Kain's eye when the Soul Reaver was destroyed. I did not understand the game that Kain was playing, but I knew the finishing move.
From this moment and ever afterwards, you and this blade are inextricably bound. Soul Reaver and Reaver of Souls, your destinies are intertwined. By destroying the sword, you have liberated it from its corporeal prison and restored it to its true form, a wraith blade, its energy unbound. No longer a physical blade, it can only manifest itself in the material realm when your strength is fully restored. Once manifest, it will sustain you.
Cool.
What are you, little soul? Another of Kain's creatures come to taunt this bound specter.
I did not intend to disturb your rest.
Rest. A body is needed for sleep. Flesh and bones are required to recline. No, child. All I may do is watch and remember, ceaselessly conscious as this wretched world's history unfurls. Ghastly past, insufferable future, are they one and the same? Am I always here?
How have you come to haunt these pillars?
Kain refused the sacrifice. The pillar of balance, corrupted to its core, stands as a monument to his blind ambition. Now these pillars serve only to bind me here, my prison and eternal home, thanks to the avarice of your master, Kain.
That bastard can claim no allegiance from me.
Then we share a common foe, Raziel. Return here when you have need. Ariel remembers what others have forgotten.
Oh, cool. Maybe this is something I can use to access whatever that thing was at the bottom of the execution site. Shelter. The Ghosts in the Shell standalone complex. I have not played that. That sounds like a great recommendation. Oh, that's interesting. He like swings it with both hands. And yeah, when I do the switch over between this and Snake Tales, I can find that link and drop it in chat. Cool. Well, I think getting the Soul Reaver is actually a pretty good breaking place for the night. So let's go ahead and save a backup there. And yeah, I'm gonna cut the stream and I'll come right back. I'll have Substance fired up and we can do a Snake Tale. Or two. Well, I guess that had liquid in it. I'll clean that up in the break too. So, be right back.